Hello everyone. Well, we're back in the virtual machine, which means that nothing good can come from this. And you are absolutely right, because the latest and greatest creation just came off the presses, and we present to you Spectrum. Now, Spectrum was based off of the full intent of being an informative but very playful virus dedicated about autism. That's right. I got really bored and I had nothing to do, and this crazy idea popped into my head. And that is what we achieved. So let's look at this virtual machine before we do anything. We have some great pictures like Stephen Colbert telling us to go fudge ourselves. We also have in our documents folder some amazing stuff like Toothy, if you guys remember that. We have stuff like Fur Elise.
Well,
and we also have this.
Why am I in there?
Okay, so enough of that. But everything in these folders are going to be overwritten. This will be overwritten. So, yeah. Everything will be overwritten, including Jake Paul, and everything in the My Documents, Pictures, and Downloads folder will eventually be screwed by this virus in the most unlikely way possible. So, let's just walk right into it. So when we run the program, it'll ask for admin permission at first. And then on any given day that is not a payload date, we will just get this simple hello world message. If we look in the app data folder in the roaming under Spectrum software, a folder has been created, and this will host all the malwares or the virus's doings. So now that we've gotten us out of the way, we'll start talking about the payloads that Spectrum has to offer. Now, unlike all the other things I've done, Spectrum decides to broaden itself out a little bit in terms of not all the payloads are on every date. So we're going to go into danoct1 mode here, or danoct mode, or danoct1 mode, and we're going to change the date. And the first payload we will look at happens on a Friday of any year. So we're going to go to April 19th, because that is right before 420, and that is Good Friday. So, on any date that is a Friday, whenever the virus runs, you get a message. And if you don't know where this is from, you do not watch danoct1. But it says, hey Austin, or in this case, whatever your username is, it says, not today, it's Friday. And when you click this message box, look what happens.
hey, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you.
So that happens, and then your computer shuts down. Now, I think that's amazing in of itself, and on any Friday, that will happen, and you have no control over it. So I'm going to reboot the virtual machine here, and then we'll get to the next part of the virus. Okay, so we rebooted the virtual machine and we're logging back into Windows. We are going to not let the virus run this time because, as you can see, it tells itself to automatically run at startup. So it launches itself as sccs.exe. But we are going to say no just so we don't get the last payload again. And we're going to change the date again. And the next date we are going to look at is on October 5th of any year. Now, Some of you will know what this means to me, but this is actually a very special day. So we are just going to log off the username and we'll log back in and we'll see the next payload of the virus. So when the virus runs, you will get a message here that says to type "Happy Birthday, Austin." And well, whenever you log in your computer on October 5th, or when you wake up the computer from sleep, you will have to type in "Happy Birthday, Austin." And you need to type it in the exact way it tells you to do, or your computer will not let you work today and it will shut down the computer. So we're going to type it in correctly, and your computer will let you resume and do whatever you need. So on October 5th, you have no choice but to wish me a happy birthday. So let's go to the next payload date. And this happens on March 27th of any year. So we will log out of the username again. And when we log back in, we will see the next part of the virus. So we get a message that says, "Neurotypicals, and to think that they call us mentally challenged. Common sense is like deodorant. The people who need it the most never use it." And we have a message box that says, "Today, on this day in news, a dumbass neurotypical by the name of Ethan McCartney decided to beat the shit out of an autistic person. What is this world coming to? Every day, you neurotypicals are pulling shit like this every day. Try to make the world a better place by accepting people's differences. Virus.win32.spectrum, an actually autistic virus." Now, the virus is now making its presence known to the user pretty much, and when you click OK, this message is stuck on your system. You cannot do anything. So, luckily, in this version, I made it possible for it to be closed as Task Manager, and it is running as Allism Speaks. Now, if you don't get that reference, you know nothing. So we are going to end this task if we can, and we will move right along to the next payload date, which happens on April Fool's Day. Fitting enough. So we're gonna log out of the virtual machine again, and we'll take a look at the next payload. So again, when the virus starts up, it will automatically run at startup, and this time we get this lovely message that says, "Make a fool of oneself, what a foolish thing you've done. Hello there, today is April Fool's Day. Yeehaw, this was a really crappy idea. I had no idea what I was doing with this. I got this part from Toxoid49B. What am I doing with my life anyway, making a virus in AutoHotkey? So because of this momentous occasion, you get to have fun outside. You don't have to use your computer. Now slap on a load of SPF 420 sunscreen, grab the bleach, get right into the news, and have fun outside." And again, when you click OK, nothing works. The computer is useless. So we are going to log out of the virtual machine, and we are going to log back in. And before the virus starts up, we are going to change this to our final payload date, which is World Autism Awareness Day, or April 2nd, or as I like to call it, World Autism Acceptance Day. So this time when you run the virus, you get a message on your computer and it says, "Good day, sir. Did you know that today is Autism Acceptance Day? So I have one question for you. Do you accept?" And you have yes or no. So in the main variant of this virus, you get this message box. However, we'll get to that in a moment, but let's say you click yes. you get a message box that says please hold, and you get a lovely message from me saying that your computer was infected by the Spectrum virus, the latest, greatest creation by me. I am the person writing this because I made this crazy thing, and it was designed to inform users about autism acceptance in probably, to some regards, the most evil way possible. And it will rock you through the process of uninstalling Spectrum and getting your computer clean. And it says, respectfully, Austin Simmons, lead developer, creator of the Spectrum virus, spreading autism acceptance, one boot partition at a time. And once you close this message, you get, today is Autism Acceptance Day. Who would thought you'd find this out from a shitty virus? I'm not going to make you mad by doing shit. Instead, I want to thank you for accepting autism. You rock. And that's it once you click OK. Now, let's say you click no, because you really don't. You're one of those like salty asshats on the internet or whatever. And this will activate the destructive part of the virus, which is known as Armageddon mode. If you don't know what Armageddon means, look that up. But anyway, there is also another version of this program called Spectrum Client N. And the N stands for neurotypical. So basically, if said user wants to spread this to a neurotypical's computer and does not want to give them the option to accept the Autism Acceptance Day message, you don't have to do that, because it will automatically put a registry key in that on April 2nd will automatically revert the virus to go into Armageddon mode. So let's click no here, and it says, sorry, so you don't accept autism, I don't accept your computer. And when you click OK, it overwrites the master boot record and blue screens the computer. And the MBR is overwritten with this. It says, autism isn't an epidemic, but this virus is. This virus is written by an autistic person for neurotypical asshats. Don't be a dick. Be accepting of autism. Special thanks to the autism community on social media for helping me with these ideas. You helped me out with so many other things. Virus.132.spectrum, spreading autism acceptance, one boot partition at a time. Now, I should say your files are easily recoverable by the Windows 7 boot disk. And once you're in there, the virus has already overwritten itself. And that's pretty much it. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for wanting to help me out with this. And accept autism, I guess. Or this will happen to you. Thanks for watching. That's it. Okay, so I lied. That wasn't it. I'm sorry, but I'm back. And I forgot to mention a very, very important thing. Now, for the neurotypicals who are watching this, you have a bigger problem on your hands. And this comes into play when you try to recover your machine from the Spectrum virus, because this, as it said before, autism isn't an epidemic, but this virus is. And it stays true to its word, and I'll explain why. So usually, as I've said to most of you guys before, whenever you encounter a program like this, you can simply run a tool off of the Windows install disk by running bootrec/fixmbr and then running startup repair. Now, this will repair the computers and it will allow you to boot back into Windows, but there's a slight catch. remember I told you in the beginning of the video that all those files that I put in there would be overwritten? Well, here's how it does that. Before the virus overwrote the master boot record, it created a scheduled task on the computer that the next time the computer starts up and logs in, your files will be deleted if they are in the documents, pictures, and downloads folders. That includes any subfolders that are within those folders. So the computer starts up, I don't even need to run the virus, and right off the bat, it will start deleting every file it can find in the documents, pictures, and downloads folder. So you'll notice that we can't even access the downloads folder because the folder is gone. All our documents are gone, and all our pictures are gone. The only folder that will remain is the sample folder, because this is actually not in the root directory of the pictures. It is actually in the Windows public folder, which means all users are able to access it, so it is never deleted. But otherwise, your precious memes and music and downloads and documents are gone, and there is nothing you can do about it. The only true way to remove this virus is only revealed to the people who decided to accept autism. Because, you know, y'all needed a little bit of a break. So that's pretty much it for the Spectrum virus. Hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you have any questions on how I did any of this, if you get the virus yourself, if you accepted the message speech, you will actually get a link to the full decompiled version of the source code, which eventually I'll be making a side video on if I can, on how I went about doing this and how the program was actually made. So keep a lookout for that, and accept autism, I guess. Thanks for watching. Take care.